Good morning everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be doing a bit of a challenge. I'm probably going to split this up into two parts because as I said to you last weekend, I wanted to do a bit of a double wear challenge. So any of you, if you've not been on this planet for the last 10 years or 20 years even, you won't have heard of Estée Lauder Double Wear products. Okay, now this was one of the first foundations other than Avon, because I did Avon when I was 14, that I used, and I used this a lot when I was singing on stage and at my sister's wedding, and it's been going that long because that was when I was in my 20s and I'm now plummeting towards 50 at a alarmingly fast rate. Okay, so double wear foundation. Now I wore this, but it was called Outdoor Beige, and you know what, I've seen it and it looks very pink, and I'm really intrigued next time I go into a department store to just try out that colour on me, because I just can't see how it would have ever matched my complexion. Anyway, you've probably seen me in previous videos wearing this maximum cover. This is seriously maximum coverage. It covers all this hyperpigmentation. That's Jack in the background, by the way, playing the game. And I've told him not to shout because he gets very excited playing his game. Okay, so this is maximum coverage. So that is the fullest coverage that they do. Then you've got this one, which is double wear. And then there's a light one, and there's an even lighter one, and they've just brought out a light matte one as well. So there's all different formulas, but this one was the original one, and this one is used by a lot of makeup artists in their kit because you can kind of use it as a concealer. So today what I thought I'd do is use this, but I might use a mixture so that I use the higher coverage over my hyperpigmentation, which is really popping through at the moment. Okay, so that's that. We are at the moment, there's no rose gold in sight, no Charlotte Tilbury. So I've also got their double wear flawless hydrating primer, which is new and is designed to go under the double wear foundation. So I was really intrigued to try that. I have been testing this and I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a minute. I've got this, which looks brand new, but actually I've had it for ages and I just keep it in its box. Set and Refresh. This isn't double wear, but I thought I'd stick to Estée Lauder. And because I was doing this and I decided to do this, I've also got the double wear Stay in Place powder makeup, which is actually a powder foundation, but I often set my liquid foundation with that just to set it in. And because I was going to do this today, I ordered on Amazon double wear Stay in Place eye pencil, which I tried out yesterday and is utterly brilliant. I've also got Estée Lauder concealer and Estée Lauder double wear correcting duo, which gives you kind of a bit of a peachy tint, so it covers up some of that hyperpigmentation. So a bit Estée Lauder mad today, but before I get into that, I have some news, so hold on a second. Here is the news. Okay, so some of you know, if you've looked at previous videos, that I was talking about a transition that I am currently going through that has been psychologically quite difficult. But so I'm now ready to tell you what that transition is. And basically, I have just been medically retired from my job, and my last working day is on Monday. So it's quite, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the fact that I don't have to struggle into work in pain. But it also is kind of the end of an era, because I've always been very independent, always wanted to work, and so it's going to be a very big transition. But you guys have helped with that transition, right? And you are going to help with that transition. I know you are, because starting doing these videos has really helped me. I'm not going to, please don't stop welling up, but it really has helped me to get my head round the fact that come next week I am going to be retired, and it's going to give me a bit of structure. So the good news for all of you is that I would like to start doing some more regular videos, and I've already been thinking about some regular slots. I'd like to do some slots that are sort of reviewing new items. Now, I might not be able to afford to get as many things, we'll see, you know, adjusting to pension and stuff like that. But I've got so many new products this year that I could probably review something every week for the next 2 years. So that's that. And I've also thought about doing a kind of follow another makeup tutorial. I was looking at Pixie Woo this morning, and Sam and Nikki, and yeah, so if you've got any ideas about if you've seen a tutorial and you want me to follow it, can you please put a link down below? Or if you've got any ideas for regular slots, because I'm going to start a little routine. I think that will be good for me, and it will be good for you guys as well, is that I've got a routine that, you know, on a certain day I do this video, and on a certain day I do that video, and that way it keeps that routine like I'm still at work. But I know you guys are going to help me so much, and you already have. So thank you so much. Okay, now let's get into this video. I haven't actually put on my moisturiser or anything yet, because I thought I'll do that on camera. And I'm going to split this into two, because I'm going to do a makeup look after I've put my base on. I'm going to do a makeup look that somebody requested that I posted on Instagram the other day. And I'll probably post that tomorrow, so you'll see all the base and everything, and then you'll see the wear test, and then I'll do the makeup look tomorrow. Okay, so first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm putting on my eyes, as we're with the Estée Lauder theme today, some advanced night repair. And actually, before I do that, 1 second. Okay, so today is very hot again, and I've noticed that my makeup has been kind of getting quite oily in the middle. So I'm not going to go for magic cream today. I am going to go for something a little bit lighter. Now, I've been testing out. I've got some little this really expensive skincare brand, but I got some sort of try me out sets, and it's called, I'm probably going to pronounce this wrong. So if any of you are from Hungary watching, please forgive the pronunciation, but it's called Omorovicka, I think that's how you pronounce it, by Budapest. Really good skincare brand. They are wonderful, but they are massively overpriced. And their serums, when I've had samples of them, are fantastic, but to buy the full size is like go and rob a bank somewhere. But anyway, I just got some sort of tester sizes, and this is the Queen of Hungary mist, which I don't know what it does, but it just smells so lovely, and it's so refreshing. So I'm kind of using that as a bit of a toner, which I wanted to put on before the eye serum. So I'm going to put on some Estée Lauder eye serum and just dab that under my eyes, because it's quite, even though it's quite a powerful serum, it is quite light. And then I will put my tried and trusted Toleriane, which I kept mispronouncing before, over the top. And what I'm gonna do is just take that and dab it and let it sink in for a minute. Okay, so it probably, I'm not gonna, deliberately not gonna blend it in too much, because I've got time while I put my moisturiser on. And this is the moisturiser that I got this sort of travel size of. So it's the Omorovicka Illuminating Moisturiser, and it's quite lightweight. And so the thing about Charlotte's is it does look lovely under makeup, but it is a little bit on the oily side, and when you're sweating in the heat, I find that it's just a bit too heavy. It starts to make my foundation melt a little bit, whereas this just sinks straight into the skin and is extremely light, and it smells of lavender. I don't know if it's got lavender in it, but it you know, when you're a kid, I don't know if you did this, but in the garden I used to go and try and make my own lavender water, and I'd pick some lavender. My mum had a rockery out in the garden, and we picked the lavender and we'd pull it off the stalk and put it in some water and mix it and try and make our own lavender water. And that's exactly, it's just taken me back to childhood. Really lovely. Okay, so that's the skincare. Now let's try out. Now Estée Lauder do another one, which is a mattifying primer, which would possibly be better in the T-zone, but I'm not going to buy two primers. This one is called the Flawless Hydrating Primer. Now, the reason I've not put my sun cream on today is that this has got an SPF of 45 in it. I'd be a bit wary of using foundations that have got SPF, because as Wayne Goss, I don't know if you've seen his video about it, but he's absolutely right. The amount that you need to put on of foundation, as opposed to sunscreen, you're supposed to put a decent amount of sunscreen on. And if you did that with foundation, you would look caked in makeup. But this is very lightweight again. It's very, very runny, if you see that. The only thing is that I don't think it's going to last that long. It just doesn't look that big, although it says it's 30 ml, so maybe it's just the bottle.
Oh my god.
Now, I'm seriously annoyed with myself, and also annoyed with Estée Lauder, that I forgot the anomaly that they have with their foundations, which I'm going to tell you about in a minute. And actually, I'm going to, now that that's sunk in, because this has got SPF in it, don't forget to put SPF around your eyes, because it's the most delicate part of your skin and the bit that we forget when it comes to sunscreen. Right, and I've now blended what's underneath in. Now, yeah, so going back to this foundation, I'd forgotten about this. When it comes, it doesn't have a pump, it's just a bottle, and you start pouring it and you end up with too much on your hand. You can buy a pump for a £5, and I honestly think that that's a bit of a cheek, because this foundation is, I think, £33. Same sort of price as all of these foundations, but I think it should come with a pump. I don't think you should have to buy one. And I remember now having to do this when I was younger, because I wouldn't buy the pump. Didn't have the money. This foundation would last me for 2 years, and I wouldn't be buying anything else to go with it. So yeah, it's just a bit annoying. So I'm going to put a little bit of this, and I'm going to put a little bit, I haven't mixed them before, but I'm sure it'll work. They're both the same sort of formula, just one's more high coverage. What I think I will do is I'm going to start by putting the higher coverage one around my eyes, and then I'll go in with the lighter one. I think that will be the best thing. This one is very thick, but I'm going to show you how it just covers all that hyperpigmentation in seconds. It's really, really good. So I'm using in the this foundation Double Wear Maximum Cover. It actually says 3C for medium deep, but it works on my skin tone anyway. I'm a bit surprised it says C, because it looks quite warm on me. But if you see, if I do this and I go over this middle area here, you will see how much this covers my hyperpigmentation. It's very, very good. And I'm just going to do a little bit over there to cover up that little bit there. Okay, and then the rest of it, I am going to use the double wear. And I've got 3W 1.5, which is called Fawn. I think it's one of their new colours, actually. They've just introduced this one. And I compared them with my NC35, and 3W1 looked too cool, too light, and 3W2 looked a little bit too dark. So let me just do this. I haven't mixed them before, guys, so I like trying things out for the first time on camera. It's the best way, because then if I make a mistake, you can see it as it is. So you can see actually down here, this coverage is plenty enough. It's actually medium to full, but I just wanted something a bit extra to go over that hyperpigmentation, which really is popping through at the moment and making my complexion look quite muddy. And then I'll take it down there. I'll sweep a light dusting over my eyes, but I'm going to use the concealer and the colour corrector in a minute, so I don't really want to be doing... That's the other thing, it drips down the side of the bottle. Oh, I've forgotten that. Oh, such a waste. I'll have to get the pump. Estée Lauder, just sell it with a pump, for goodness sake. Right. Now, so the next thing I'm going to use is this double wear. It's called the Custom Coverage Correcting Duo. And what it is one side, I'm going to just show you on my hand. One side it's got this very sort of thin cream, which has got a kind of peachy orange tint in it. It's very good at covering up these muddy marks. And the other side is actually thicker and a bit more intense, the colour. And it's on a doe foot. Okay, so you can basically decide what bits you want. So here, for example, where I've got really dark bits, or where I've got this brown mark here, you can kind of go over and you can cover those bits up. But what you can also do, I'll show you in a second, see how that's quite intense. Where you've got larger areas, like around here and also a little bit under my eyes, go in with the lighter coverage side and just do a little bit there, a little bit there, and put a little bit round there. Okay, and that will, see where these muddy bits here, and then again I'm just going to do this with my fingers. You can do it with a beauty blender, but I just think it works better somehow. I've tried it, works better with the fingers. Now don't worry, I'm going to look a bit like I've been tangoed. Anyone that's seen that advert, a bit orange. But once the concealer goes over the top, it will just balance out some of that muddiness. You don't have to do this step. It's just, especially, I think if you're going to have photographs done, or you're going to be on stage or whatever, you're going to a wedding. Otherwise, I think, you know, concealer's enough, really. Hello, Mr. Postman. Right, and then I'm going in. So this one now is, and I have the tip of the day. Right, now this is the Double Wear Concealer. Stay in Place Flawless Wear Concealer. They do a waterproof one as well, but this is pretty waterproof. Now, my little tip of the day. I have got a warm undertone, as you know, and I'm going to go into this in a bit more detail in another video, because I want to talk to you about MAC foundations and why people with warm undertones buy Neutral Cool NC, and it's all very confusing. But anyway, I'll get onto that on another day. But this foundation is warm because I have got a yellow to warm undertone. But little trick is, if you want to brighten underneath your eyes, but you don't like this trend for going 1 or 2 shades lighter and it makes you look a bit startled, is to get your concealer in a cool undertone. Now, if you are cool undertoned, I would try, you can stay the same intensity. So this is 3. So the intensity is 3, then you've got different shades within it. So you would stay with the 3, but instead of getting one that says warm, you go with cool. And if you're cool, get warm. Now, the reason I say get warm is that those people that have got very cool, say fair, let's say a lot of you are fair, cool undertones, is that a lot of your under eye sort of darkness can look about bluey purple. So if you get warm, that actually cancels it out. Now with me, what I've done is I've already corrected it with something that's a bit orangey, but now I want to brighten. So for brightening, I'm putting on a cool. And the fact is that even though it's the same intensity, i.e. it's still 3, and my foundation was 3, because it's got a cool undertone, it's actually going to brighten up my under eyes. Did you get that? I could do a whole video in itself. Let me know if you want me to. Now I'm just going to spritz a blender with this, and I'm going to blend that in with this. So a damp beauty blender, and just dab that underneath, and that will spread it around as well and even it out. And it's just a lot easier when you're dabbing under your eyes. I find when I use a beauty blender, I'm not tempted to rub because it blends it so well. And one thing I don't want to forget is to put a little bit around where I put that. Don't forget where you've put your orange, otherwise you'll walk into the light and you'll see where you've put the orange. Okay, so the idea with the concealer, just to recap, is if you're a warm undertone, go for a cool undertone concealer of the same shade. And if you are a cool undertone, go for a warm. If you're a warm undertone, go for cool. Try it out in the same shade if you don't want to go a shade lighter. I haven't tried going a shade lighter and going cool. I think that would be too much. But if you want to stick to the same kind of intensity, just do the opposite undertone for your concealer. Give it a try. Get a sample and try it. See if it works for you. It works for me. So there you go. So you can see that even though it's the same intensity, it's given me a little bit of a brightening effect, but not a kind of, woo, I've got, you know, Kim Kardashian West kind of bright under my eyes. All right, so now I'm going to set it. Now I'm going to be right back because I have another tip today. It's not my tip, it's Wayne Goss's tip, but it's fantastic. Hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, so Wayne Goss talks about blotting your under eye concealer, and I've heard him say this a few times, and I thought I'm not going to do that because my eyes get really dry, and if I blot the concealer, then basically it's going to make it look really dry and creasy. But the other day I thought, you know what, I'm just going to give it a try, and boy does it work. It doesn't, it's just, what it does is it just takes that top surface of oil off the concealer, and when you set it, it just keeps it in place so well. So I'll show you what I do. So I just get a tissue paper. This is actually toilet roll. I'm sorry. I'm so glamorous, aren't I? I'm not a glam beauty guru, you're right. Right, so I get a piece of toilet paper and I just put it lightly over my eyes and then just press lightly. Don't press it too much because you don't want to take all the concealer off. You just want to take that top layer of oil off the concealer, right? And then take it off. And you'll see, look, it hasn't taken off hardly anything. It's just taken that little bit of shine off it, right? And then I turn it round and I go under the other eye, and again, just don't press too hard, and then you will see that's it. That's all it does. And then I set my under eyes, and boy, what a difference does it make. Now I'm going to use my Becca under eye. I just think it's the only one that's actually, that and the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder are light enough, and the e.l.f. one, the under eye one, but otherwise I find that they're just too powdery and end up making me look like I've got more wrinkles than I have. Wrinkles that haven't yet formed. Okay, and then the rest of the face I'm going to go over with Double Wear powder. Now this one is in neutral. That's fine, I'm neutral to warm, so I'm kind of mixing up my neutrals, cools and warms today. Now what I'm going to do with this is I'm kind of going to semi bake my face. Now I say that because it's a pressed powder, so you're not putting loads in, but what I do with this, and we're talking about we want it to last all day, so I am going to press and roll. Now the reason I'm pressing and rolling is because I don't want to move the foundation underneath, okay? But what this will do is it will just set that makeup in place, and it's a very similar shade of foundation. Okay, so now because I want it to set in place, we're talking about long double wear kind of makeup today, I am going to put this over my entire face, right? And then I'm going to have to put the glow back. But this, if you, unfortunately, if you don't do this, then it won't last as long. So if you want it to last as long, then you have to do this. Okay? And this is how I remember doing it on stage. But sometimes with loose powder, and that's when we baked. And what I can do is then swipe off any excess. Haven't done anything to my eyes yet. I'm going to get to my eyes in a minute. Don't press and roll under your eyes, by the way, with this. We've just done our eyes. And I'm going to get really into here, because this is where my oil starts to peek through during the day, and on my chin, and on this bit of my head. Okay, so I've pressed that in, and then what you can do is just go over and just give that a swipe. Now I'm looking as flat and matte as it comes, but I haven't finished yet. This is all about keeping it on all day, especially in the heat. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is, to stop it looking as powdery, is to give myself a good squirt of Set and Refresh. Okay, now what that's going to do is now kind of take the powdery look off. Don't do anything to your face until that has completely dried. Otherwise, all you're going to do is start moving everything around again. Okay, so this is how I am going to set this all in place. I am going to be back later on. I'm going to come back. I'm going to show you the finished look. And then I'm going to do a wear test throughout the day. But tomorrow you're going to see the bit I did in between, which is my eye makeup. And I'm going to use some of the Double Wear eyeliner. Having to think today. I'm going to do a really sort of nice look that somebody liked on Instagram, and I love it as well. My other half actually commented. He never comments on my makeup, hardly ever. When he does, I know I've got it right. Anyway, so I'm going to do that look, and you'll see that video tomorrow. But for now, that's the video. I will come back in a while, and I will show you the finished look, and then we'll do a wear test. And then tomorrow, you'll see the bit in between where I did the makeup. All right then, take care. See you soon. Hi everyone, I'm back. So if you want to see how I got this look, tune in to tomorrow's video where I'm going to upload the bit that was in between so you can see how I got this look. Now, in order to make it last even longer, I'm going to use Skindinavia, the makeup finishing spray in bridal, which is recommended by Wayne Goss, and this truly does make everything stick like glue. I know it's a bit of a cheat because I've used Double Wear, but I think this the Estée Lauder do not do a Double Wear setting spray, and so I want to see how long this will last throughout the day. So let me give a good squirt of this. Okay, so you go down, across, and that way. Okay, and that will set everything in place. And so I'm going to take a picture now, and I will come back and check in with you guys later on. I made it. And we'll see how long this look lasts. Okay, and what the wear is like, and the foundation. And today, by the way, in the UK, for reference, it is 30 degrees and it's quite hot. So if my face is going to sweat and melt, today is the day it's going to do it. Don't worry, this is going to dry down very shortly, and then it will all be in place. Okay, so catch me later, and I will check in with you guys. I don't know what the time is now, but I will tell you that later on, and then we will see how this is wearing. All right, see you soon. Bye-bye. Hi everyone, and welcome back. It's been an hour and a half since I put this makeup on. It's still looking good. Everything's still in place. It's looking a bit shiny around here. That always gets shiny. And the bit where my glasses sit, here's my glasses, that always comes off. Not a lot you can do about that. But you can just blot this. And you know, another little tip, people buy blotting paper. You don't need to do that. You just get your tissue paper and just do this.
How do you not know we bought this?
And then just do that again. And then do that. And it won't bring the foundation off, look.
It's fifth.
It's just going to get any oil that is seeping through because of the heat. It's just going to dab that away.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, it's all looking pretty good. The eyeliner, the eyeshadow, everything is still perfectly in place. So I'll catch you later. And I'm going to come back and I'm going to definitely mention the lady that requested this look. Okay. Hi everyone, it's now been 3 hours since I put this makeup on. I've had something to eat. Now you'll probably notice with my lipstick that the top layer, the American Sweetheart, has come off, but the lip liner that was underneath, which was Supersize Me, Charlotte Tilbury, is still there. So I will, Jack, shush please.
2 chests.
1 second. Okay, so I'm going to put on a little bit more of the lipstick. I feel like I need to powder my nose. I always get like that, but I'm not going to. I'm going to leave it. The reason I'm coming on now is I'm about to go out to get a bit of shopping. So I will post when I get back, and let's see what happens when I go out. But otherwise, everything at the moment is looking great. I am going through the park, so let's see what happens if my eyes water. Okay, see you soon. Bye-bye. Hi guys, I've just come out of Waitrose. It wasn't just after I filmed this, so it's now been about 5 hours since I put this makeup on. Possibly even longer actually, yeah, 5.5 hours. My eyes aren't watering, and I think it's really holding up really well. I thought I'd film it out here because then you can see it in a good light. I'm very impressed, and I'm not that shocked to be honest, because Estée Lauder Double Wear has always been good ever since I was in my 20s, which is why I used it on stage. So I'll do a quick check-in before I go to bed and take all my makeup off, and I'll see you later. Okay, take care. Bye-bye. Hi guys, and welcome back. Final check-in for the day, and I'm so impressed. Look at the eyeshadow, look at the foundation. I think it's held up really, really well. The only thing I had to do is to just keep blotting the centre, and I think that's the primer, because it's a moisturising primer. And I have got an oily T-zone. I'll probably be better off using a mattifying one in the middle. But other than that, it's not brought the foundation off. Everything, and I was doing that for a while. I thought, oh, quick, but it hasn't come off. It's just a little bit of my highlight has come off on my hand from where I've been doing that, but not the foundation. So I'm very impressed. I hope you are too. And I'll see you tomorrow so you can see how I got this look. And there's my eyes. Probably a little bit of gathering going on there. Just a little bit. But today is 30 degrees. And all I have to do, trust me guys, normally my eyeliner is sort of down here. That eyeliner is fantastic. In this heat, I think it's held up really, really well. It's now 10 o'clock, so it is 9 hours since I put all of this on. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed today's video. I'll leave all the product details below, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye. Hi, I'm back very quickly because I forgot to give a shout out to 2 people who I promised to give a shout out to. So I'm halfway taking off this makeup. So I just wanted to say hi to Elizabeth Spencer, who I meant to give a shout out to a long time ago. And the other person is Jess, who gave me the idea for doing today's look because she liked it on Instagram. So hi Elizabeth Spencer, and hi Jess, and catch me tomorrow because you'll be seeing how I got this look. And I'm about to get rid of some of this eyeliner now. Take care. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.